Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Taryn, the traveling trainer of GoTarryn Personal Training here in the greater Atlanta area, about to welcome back another great, wonderful health and wellness professional, also here in Atlanta, Georgia, Ms. Elsie Trawick. Now, before we bring Elsie on to today's show, I'd like to invite everyone out there to please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube link at the bottom of your screen. And while you're watching today's podcast interview, if you'd be so kind as to like the video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family. Now, as you know, Elsie Trawick has been on GoTarryn TV here, and previously she's talked about health, wellness, fitness, all from a nutritional, gluten-free point of view. She does her Whole30, but for today, she's going to introduce a new concept to her relatively, and to some of you out there watching as well, called Simple Fat Burn by Catherine Marshall. So we're going to be talking about that today exclusively here on GoTarryn TV for the next half hour. And you're going to learn a lot from Kathy Marshall's Simple Fat Burn program and the way you could hook up with Elsie as her to be your health coach so that you can get the most fittest way possible in a simple way. And so please make sure that you stay tuned for that. And remember, with GoTarryn Personal Training, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. And we will be right back with Elsie Trawick. Welcome back, everyone, and as you can see side by side, welcoming Ms. Elsie Trawick once again to GoTarryn TV. Elsie, how are you doing out there today?
Hey, I'm doing great. This is a wonderful time to get together.
Yeah, definitely, and we've missed you, and it's been really nice finally to reconnect and get you back on, and we were talking about doing more reoccurrence of these video blog series, but today I think we're going to talk about simple fat burn. Is that right, Elsie?
Yes, it is. Can you let me go? My timer just went off. I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Sure. That's fine.
I turned the water off for tea, but I forgot to turn the timer.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, that's fine. We could just go with it.
So you can cut that?
Yep,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about Simple Fat Burn.
Yes.
And Simple Fat Burn is a weight loss plan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a plan that I am currently in the program for certification. So it's an addition to my health coaching practice. So I've got gluten-free because I live a gluten-free lifestyle. So my practice includes helping people go gluten-free and understanding that that's not a diet, it is a lifestyle. I also coach people through the Whole30, which I believe in because I've done it several times, and it has truly helped me, particularly decrease my blood sugar levels, which I had for 3 years, high blood sugar levels, and finally found the Whole30. So I'm coaching people through the Whole30, and now I'll have a true dedicated weight loss program called Simple Fat Burn. And it is also a diet and can transition to a lifestyle to help people maintain their weight loss. And it's for people who want to lose weight from just that pesky last 10 pounds to 100 or 150 pounds, depending on their weight and their goals. So let's dive right in and talk about it. Simple Fat Burn was created by Catherine Marshall. I'm going to give you a picture of the book. You can get the book on Amazon. And Catherine Marshall, I met at a seminar, and she was one of the sponsors for the seminar, and it was wonderful. It was a small business seminar on revenue growth and development. And so we started talking. She asked me what I did, and I said, I'm a health and wellness coach. And she said, oh, great. Well, let me show you my product. And Simple Fat Burn, I fell in love with it because it is a guided plan, particularly for people who need to follow rules to lose weight because they can't do it on their own. And particularly if you're trying to lose 100 to 150 pounds, when you think that's a whole person you're trying to get rid of on your body.
That's right.
And you need to have a rule book to follow to do that. The one thing I will say about a lot of the fad diet and eating plans that are out there, you can lose weight on them, but they don't offer a maintenance or reintroduction program. And that's a lot of the problem. Once you go off their food or their shakes, and you stop purchasing them and you try to reintroduce yourself to healthy whole foods, there's no rules. There's no program for you to follow, and it's hard to do. So that's the good thing about Simple Fat Burn. You're eating foods that you buy yourself. You prepare yourself. You learn how to shop at a grocery store. You learn meal planning. You learn meal prepping. You learn how to travel with foods, a rescue pack, you might say, or a snack pack, so that you can actually eat when you're at the airport, or if you get stuck at the airport. So that's another reason I'm really hooked on Simple Fat Burn. And I've been doing it. And I didn't lose 10 pounds, but I've lost 5 pounds. And it's great. So I feel very comfortable with doing it. And I'm actually still playing with it. But as a coach, I get to do that.
That's awesome.
So what I want to talk about first is Simple Fat Burn is a guided plan. You eat protein, 20 to 30 grams of protein with every meal. Then you have fats. You have 25 to 35, if you're a woman, 25 to 35 grams of fat per day. And men, 30 to 50 grams of fat per day. And that's a lot of fat. And fats are your coconut oil, coconut butter, avocado, olives, olive oil, nuts, seeds, butter. So your healthy fats are in there. And that means you can cook your foods in olive oil and or butter. You stay away from the processed oils like canola and peanut and soy. You want to stay away from the processed fats, and you're eating all natural foods. That's the other thing about the Simple Fat Burn. It really coincides with the way I teach, and that is to eat whole foods, to get off your processed, prepared foods. So you're not eating things you can pull out of the freezer, dump in a bag, and boil. You're actually eating whole foods that you prepare yourself. And like I said, you eat 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. So, and the protein, it's not a ketogenic diet, but it's very similar to that, in that your main source of nutrients is protein and green vegetables. Eating a lot of green vegetables. You stay away from the starches. White potatoes are not allowed. Sweet potatoes are allowed. Then you have your moderate are your orange and yellow vegetables, but heavy on the green vegetables. Green beans, snow peas, broccoli, cauliflower, fennel. It's a white vegetable, but fennel is allowed because I like a little fennel in my salad. Lettuces, spinach, kale, cooked collards. So you're eating very healthy. Yeah. And I also bump up that because I cook a lot of my greens in chicken broth to give them an added flavor. But you get that, especially with chicken broth, you get a little bump up in your protein. And you also focus on the essential fatty acids, the omega-3s and the omega-6s. So the omega-3s, are your walnuts, sesame seeds, spinach, salmon, tuna, chia seeds, things like that. Your omega-6s are chicken, olive oil, pistachios, hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, acai berries, and you can use grapeseed oil. That's also high in omega-6. So that's a good thing. I make my salad dressings with grapeseed oil to give me a little variation from the olive oil. And then you've got your carbohydrates. And carbohydrates are very hard to understand. And one of the reasons you stay away from your starchy carbohydrates are because they are what turn to sugar when you eat them and they're processed in your body. So, and you also want to watch the, so you're off processed foods. That's the whole part of this diet that's really heavy, is you get off of processed prepared foods. You just stop buying it. You stop buying your sugar products, and you crowd out those with your healthy foods.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for some people, this may be a process, which is natural, normal, and so don't freak out if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. The other thing about simple fat burn that really jives with the way I eat is it's grain-free and you can make it gluten-free. You don't need to worry about that. And really and truly, if you're trying to lose fat and burn fat, you should be gluten-free anyway, because a lot of the products that have gluten are high in fat. You're also dairy-free on the simple fat burn. You just get off of it and use other milks like almond milk, coconut milk. I just bought some coconut milk to try it. I'm not a big coconut flavor person, but the coconut milk I bought doesn't have a coconut flavor. Maybe a hint if you're really sensitive to it. I used it to make an quiche, a crustless quiche, and it was delicious. It just worked perfectly. Because I didn't want to use rice milk because of your glycemic index. Rice milk has a lot of carbohydrates. And almond milk, I didn't want the sweet flavor of almonds in my quiche with my eggs.
Right.
So I opted for almond milk. Hemp milk is another good choice for cooking if you want to be dairy-free. Because hemp milk doesn't have a flavor. It's a thicker, richer, creamier milk. So it adds a little more texture and body, and it does well. I've used that to make quiches, and it does great. So your carbohydrates, the reason you want to really limit and stay mostly in your green colored carbohydrates is because of the glycemic index. Your starchier vegetables have more natural sugars in them, and that converts to sugar in your body. And part of the one reason you're doing the simple fat burn is you want your body to burn its stores of fat. You want to use your existing fat as energy. And that's where we're going with this. I do 2 servings of fruit per day because I'm a big fruit eater, and that was one of the hardest things for me was when I would have a snack. I eat 3 meals a day with 2 snacks, one mid-morning and one mid-afternoon. And with the simple fat burn, that's the whole part of it is you want to keep your body burning fat all day, so you have 5 to 6 meals per day. So you're leveling out. You've got that nice bell curve going on all day versus spikes of sugar. So you're keeping your body fed, your blood sugar fed with nutrients all day long to avoid those spikes and ups and downs with blood sugar, because it's those spikes in your blood sugar that lead to cravings.
Oh, okay. I see.
And so I'm going to take aside another thing about cravings we need to understand is cravings come from food boredom. You're eating the same thing day in and day out, and your body's like, wow, I'm really tired of this. You're eating too much sugar in your diet, and your body is not getting enough nutrients. And that keeps your body telling you it's hungry all the time. So a big thing to recognize is if you're not eating whole, healthy foods, you're setting yourself up for food cravings because your body's not being fed the nutrients it needs to function. And you've heard me say this, food is fuel. We have to remember that what we eat fuels our body.
Right.
Bad food in gives you a bad outlook for your day. Good quality food with lots of nutrients keeps your body satisfied and full. And that's one of the key pillars of simple fat burn is you want to keep your blood sugar level consistent so you can ride out your day without having sugar highs and sugar lows and cravings. Accountability. You keep a food log. This little book is great. You've got a food log right here that helps you manage how many meals you're eating. And you break it down by your calories, protein, fat, carb, fiber, net carbs.
Mm-hmm.
So you're keeping a track of what you're eating, because the biggest thing in accountability and success, the biggest key to success is accountability. Accountability keeps us honest with ourselves and our partner, our spouse, our partner, our friend, keeps us on track. So find an accountability partner. Tell your family what you want to do. If you want to lose weight, tell your family, friends. Get them on board with you. That's something this is you're doing for you. Some people may feel that, oh, I don't really need to do it for myself, but I'm going to do it for my husband. I'm going to do it for my wife. I'm going to do it for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really good reasons to lose weight.
Yeah.
You've got to be motivated, and accountability is key in keeping yourself motivated. Holding up and tracking your food keeps you honest,
Mm-hmm.
keeps you accountable, keeps you honest, and it keeps you motivated because you see real results. Yeah. So that's another key, is the accountability. You have any questions?
This is really fascinating, Elsie. And, I definitely have heard of Simple Fat Burn because I know Kathy Marshall, and she's got a great program. I like that it's not comprehensive and complex and hard to understand, but rather the word implies from the definition of the title, simple, meaning she keeps it very basic. It's not rocket science or brain surgery or what have you. As long as, like you were saying, I like what you said about keeping the glycemic index low. Watch those carbs because, like you said, they turn into sugars. And then the way you tie it in is just brilliant at the end, talking about accountability and commitment, because that is a key. You have to stick with it and stay motivated. Otherwise, it's easy for us to just fall off the wagon. But that's, again, I think great that Kathy's being able to tie this all together in terms of creating such a brilliant plan called Simple Fat Burn, and that's wonderful. I really, really like it. What's your thoughts on so far, Elsie, with being able to have you been using the journal itself that comes with the book for your own?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I've got the electronic version, and so I print out the sheets because it's a little easier for me than this. So I do that. The one thing that tripped me up was the math.
Okay.
Figuring this out. So, and that's something I don't want people to be afraid of. Higher math is not my gig, but this is doable, and it's easy. You read labels. You learn how to read your labels. Mm-hmm. Look at your serving size, and you write that down. When in doubt, just go with what the label says. As you know, I'm a big foodie, and I create a lot of my own foods, and that's where I've been tripped up, is figuring out the portion size for what I'm eating. Yeah. Like in my lettuce wraps and my cabbage wraps, because I create a lot of my own food. I like to cook, and that's what I do. Mm-hmm. So figuring out the protein in my bone broth, because I've switched over. I was having a lot of problems with my hair and nails, so I've switched over to Great Lakes gelatin, and I have basically a cup of bone broth every morning to get the collagen and the biotin and all of that and protein in for my hair and nails, and I've seen a big difference. So I've started now making my own Jell-O with vegetables and fruits as a snack, and then with the beef gelatin, it gives me that spike of protein I need to curb the sugar intake from the carbs from the fruit and vegetables. So the math is what kind of tripped me up for a while. Mm-hmm. But as long as you're reading your labels, understanding what you're eating, and sticking with the portion size, even if you go over, say you're really hungry one day because you didn't eat much the first day, you had a very stressful day, and your body's like, okay, it's been burning a lot of fuel and you need a little bit more. Just, again, go back to the labels and say you had 1.5 portions. Just write that information in. Because what you're going to do is you're going to take a snapshot of your food log. And you're going to send that to me, your coach, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to critique what you're eating. I'm going to get back to you with what you're eating and how you're eating. And a lot of people do great. You see real results at first, and then we plateau.
Mm-hmm.
That's normal, because as your body gets smaller, you lose the weight, your dietary needs are going to change. Because as you get smaller, as you lose the weight, your body is going to tell you you need to readjust how and what you're eating to match that new weight.
Mm-hmm.
So as you get smaller, your portions should be coming less and less, because your body is getting smaller and you don't need as much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, with eating healthy, nutrient-dense foods, those you're going to realize you don't need to eat as much anyway, because your body is getting satiated because it's getting nutrients. It's getting fed what it needs to run. It's getting fed what it needs to have energy for you to make your workouts, do your job, live your life. And that's the importance of eating nutrient-dense foods, is it gives you good quality fuel to run your body with.
Yeah, very well said, Elsie. And Catherine Marshall also, in addition to the health and nutrition, she's all over it. She's really into the fitness and exercise, personal training, group training. She's all over. Have you ever been up, or I don't know if she told you about her studio up in Duluth?
Yeah, that's
TNT.
where I meet with. Yeah, that's where I meet with her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great facility up there, the TNT Fitness Studios. If anybody's up in the Duluth area, they should go check that out. And then also, in addition, Elsie, there's another common denominator between you and Kathy, that you both previously have actually, and several times, come to guest speak at Georgia State at my class. She's come a couple times, you've come a couple times, and we're excited because we're going to be having you once again grace your presence here in a few weeks to come to Georgia State to talk about the students. And I really think that this program that you're doing here would be wonderful to kind of introduce to the Georgia State undergraduates and let them know what kind of program this is. That would be really neat for you to talk about that.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to do. I was going to do my why we should eat healthy foods, and what are healthy foods.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was segue into briefly about gluten-free, Whole30, and simple fat burn, and the importance, because all of your students are going into the health industry or fitness industry, personal training, physical therapists. They need to know this.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they'll be very interested in it.
Yeah, they'll really like that. I've found this very interesting myself, and I've read the book. Kathy's just been great. She was nice enough to give me a copy of it, and I thought it was really good because it just hits everything. And again, you can give it to anybody, a novice or a beginner, and they should be able to understand it when they read that book to be able to interpret.
And then the good thing is they have accountability. Yeah. They have accountability through their coach, which would be me, and they have accountability through the Facebook group, so that they can chat among each other and share success. And that's what's really important about any diet or healthy eating plan you undertake. Accountability. Share what you're doing with your friends and family. You may not get all the support you're looking for with your family, because they may think, but your friends will definitely support you. They'll step up to the plate. Talk about it. And let people know this is something you're doing for you. This is what you're doing to improve how you feel about yourself, build your confidence in yourself by succeeding, by managing and controlling, particularly people with a lot of pounds that they want to lose. A lot of times they continue to unhealthily eat because it's immediate gratification, and they're not getting they're not getting what they need from other people. They're not getting things. They're not getting something internally that they need. By taking control of what you're eating, seeing improvement in your health and your weight gives you confidence. And it's outward confidence. People notice when you start to lose weight, particularly if you have a lot of weight to lose and are struggling. And it's easy, especially in midlife, it's easy to put on pounds without batting an eye, women in menopause, women premenopausal and postmenopausal. That weight, it just with me, I woke up one day and I was 10 pounds heavier, and it was right around my midriff. I went from 124 to 134 over what felt like overnight. Well, 3 years, no matter what I ate, how I dieted, whatever I did, it did not come off for 3 years. And then boom, it was like overnight. It was like, oh my gosh, my spare tire is gone. And I was miserable. Not only with the other signs of menopause, because that's enough to drive anyone like, crazy, but the fact that you can control it, you can get it back. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So that's the big thing I want people to understand is if you're struggling with your weight, whether yo-yo dieting, you have success, but then all of a sudden your weight creeps back up, or you just can't, no matter what you do, you cannot seem to get a handle on it to lose the weight. Call me, set up an appointment. Let's talk about it. I do complimentary Healthy You sessions. They're 45-minute sessions. We go over your lifestyle, what you're eating, how you're eating, what your health goals are, and then we determine if it's a right fit for you to work with me as your coach to help you achieve those health goals. And that's another point I want to bring up is that healthy eating is also not just to lose weight. If you're like me, I was suffering with high blood sugar levels, which I couldn't figure that one out. I eat a whole foods diet. And what was going on with my body? Some people have high cholesterol. They've gotten a diagnosis of prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. They've got hypertension. They've got other issues. A lot of that can be helped or alleviated or removed from your problem list through diet by eating a whole foods healthy diet. Simple fat burn is a great way to get that under control. Also, Whole30, if you're having food symptoms like you're eating things and you've got a lot of gas, you're having problems with constipation or diarrhea, you've got things going on and you feel it's food related, or you need to just actually hit the reset button on your diet, I highly recommend the Whole30 and I will coach you through it. It's 30 days of clean eating. You come out on the other side truly aware of what your food triggers are. Sometimes they're habits that you've picked up that you didn't even know you had. And so it's a great way to figure out and hit that reset button for your diet.
Very good, Elsie. And one other question, too, before we let you go. What is the best way for people to reach out and give you a call? Let's go ahead and plug your phone number. That way we can make sure they've got it in case they're
Great. My home office is 404-315-7665. You can message me on Facebook, Elsie Trawick Wellness, and you can message me, and that's how you get in touch with me.
Very good, Elsie. Well, we'll get that on the screen here momentarily, as we always do when we fade to black. And as always, Elsie, you are just wonderful. This 30 minutes flew by fast. I'm watching the time very closely. I know you got to get going here. We'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your week. And Elsie, thank you so much for helping us promote Simple Fat Burn. Catherine Marshall, of course, Simple Fat Burn available on Amazon. And for anybody watching, make sure you contact Elsie directly and get in touch with her so you could hire her as your health coach and try this program out, or try the Whole30, or maybe try both of them. But either way, we'll have Elsie's contact information here momentarily. And Elsie, thank you again for your time. I know you've got a busy schedule here the rest of your day, and we appreciate you being on here. And let's definitely bring you back on here for another follow-up here very soon as well, please.
Sounds great.
All right. Well, thank you, Elsie. And for the folks watching, here comes her contact information right now. We'll see you.